Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. I'm Christopher Young.
And I'm Camille Enriquez, and we're here with the Children's Advisory Committee. So before we begin, why don't you all introduce yourselves and tell us something that you like?
Well, my name is Suleiman and I like singing and dancing.
Okay.
My name is Peter Aragon and I am a fan of art and music.
My name is Laila Bautista and I like singing.
My name is Adrian Reynolds and I like playing sports.
I have some questions here for you that I'd like to ask you,
Okay.
all of you. If you had been given an opportunity to sit with people who make decisions that affect us, what has that been like and what have you learned about yourself and how grown-ups make decisions?
Any of you answer.
Okay.
All right, well, I would like to start off the conversation here.
Yeah.
The decision making was very easy in working with grown-ups. For example, when we work with Mayor Kevin Bernard, the mayor of Tong, he values our opinions and ideas in which we can communicate to him and we can trust. We have a trust. And I've also learned that he values our opinions, our decisions, and our differences because there's something that goes like everybody brings different ideas to the table. So this is what motivates me to work with him.
Okay. Anybody else? No? So for you, what's the best thing about being a child in Belize?
Okay, for me, the best thing in being a child in Belize is that we're exposed to diverse culture. We're very unique. We have, since as children, we have a right to learn. We have, due to this diverse culture, we have the right to learn each one. We can display each one as a child because we are exposed to it.
Okay. So since we're being exposed to such diverse cultures, if all of the children of Belize were to come together and have a meeting discussing one main problem in our society, what would that problem be for you? Any of you?
The problem for me would be crimes.
Crime.
Because there are so much people on the streets that need to be in jail right now, but they are not being captured.
Anybody else?
I think poverty.
Poverty?
Poverty. Mainly poverty for me.
Poverty.
I think we have a low class education. We need more. We don't have that much students.
Okay.
We mainly dropouts.
Okay.
Okay. If you had the chance to be Prime Minister for a day, what's the first thing that you would do?
Well, the first thing I would do is give opportunity to the ones that most need it.
Okay. Anybody else?
What I would do is I would try to visit homeless shelters or senior centers, visit schools and ask what are their problems or their concerns about our country on a whole and come to an agreement and see how we can make Belize as a country a better place to live in.
Okay. So from your experience, what is something that you have learned while being around the grown-ups in our government?
I learned that everyone has their own opinion. Everyone's different.
Okay.
I learned that once you bring up your opinion, they take everything into aspect and try to bring out the best outcome.
Okay, well that's very comforting to know, being a child in Belize.
Do you always get listened to?
Sure, yeah, all the time.
Is there ever a time where the grown-ups don't understand your point of view?
Well, since we're children, there's a casual misconception between our terms, I would call it, and they don't really get it, but we explain it to them and we be like, oh, I see where you're coming from now. So they understand us. We just need to put it in coins, not bills.
Okay. So, is there a favorite childhood memory any of you have?
Let me see. Okay, so I had 2 cakes for my birthday once, and then my aunt came and she uncovered the cake, and then they just pushed her head inside the cake, and on top she went to wash her face. When she washed it with ashes, so her face stayed black.
Okay.
What's the hardest thing any of you guys had to do?
Well, the hardest thing for me is to separate myself from my big sister, because I love her so much.
Well, that's a very mature thing to go through. And is there ever been a time where maybe you don't understand what's going on in the problem that the grown-ups have been dealing with?
Well, there are some times that you do not understand, but eventually you'll get to understand.
Well, that's good. Do you enjoy being on the committee?
Yes, I enjoy a lot being.
So is there meetings that you attend, or is it on a set date, or whenever you have, or is it?
It was like every day after school.
No, we usually get meetings before we set out like a program or activity. So we plan it out in the meetings and go through everything we need.
So how did you become a part of the committee?
Well,
They just got recommendations from our primary school principals, and they set out to choose 2 children from each school.
And are all your parents supportive of this?
Yeah,
Yes.
very supportive.
And does it get in the way of your schoolwork or anything like that?
No.
Well, the Child Advisory Board ensures that we put our schoolwork first. That's why we have after-school meetings. And in any case that you can't because you have schoolwork, they'll understand.
Okay. So how long have any of you been a part of the committee?
I was a member of COB as soon as it started, so I think I was 2 years ago.
Wow. And what class are you in now?
I'm in 2nd form.
Second form.
I've-
Wow.
I've been a member of the Child Advisory Board of Belmopan branch for about 2 years now.
You're in 2nd form too?
First form.
Wow. Me too.
Well, I've been part of it for 2 years as well, and it was a really great experience. And I am in 4th form.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have been it for months. It's really awesome to be in this committee.
Wow. Okay. So speaking towards you mostly, I know that has the committee helped you to mature in any way, you think?
It will make you remember anything as a child because you're growing up.
Well, it did. I considered myself still an inner child because, well, in the term of being an adult is above 18. So I'm still a child, and I really enjoy this because it adds a smile on my face and other children's faces, which makes me happy because why would you be negative when there's so many positive people?
Well, that's
You're only a
amazing.
child once.
Yes.
So speaking of amazing people, who is the person that inspires you, and maybe you'd like to tell us why?
Well, the person that inspires me is my grandmother, because any single where I go, she's always there. Take care, advising me on each and every single thing. And she's a very kind woman, soft-hearted, and I love her.
If you had the chance to have one superpower, what would it be?
I would say the power of flight because you could go anywhere and just relax anywhere.
I would take invisibility. I just want to, like, when my mom bakes cookies and stuff like that, I wanted to steal them, but she always catches me. So if I was invisible, she'll never find me.
That would be amazing. Yes, that would be great.
Alright, well, mine will be time travel. Like, to know that this scenario would work out, I'll keep it that way. And if it doesn't work, I'll go back in time and try to fix that scenario. So it'll be like a perfection.
Okay. Well, I know for me, if it was me, I would want the ability to read minds, mostly because I want to hear what everybody has to say, even though I realize that that may not be the right thing
right
in
thing
some
to
situations. So yeah.
What's your favorite childhood memory that you all remember? Because only one of you answered.
Alright,
Oh.
well,
Just lately, I think it was this summer, all of us went, well, most of us here went to the Radisson. We had a whole meeting of all the child reservoir in Belize, and I think that was a very great experience because we got to learn a lot from each other.
So what's the hardest decision, either in the committee or with your family in your real life? What's the hardest decision that you had to make?
Not to hit my little sister.
Okay, for you?
alright. My hardest decision would be that to come to the decision to let someone off, to push someone off, because it's very painful to let me let go of someone I really appreciate. So that's my hardest decision.
Okay.
The hardest decision is to let go, is to see which parent, well, let's say your parents are getting separated and you have to choose a parent to stay with, and that's the hardest decision for me.
Yeah, I know that's a hard decision affecting many children across Belize. So I could try to relate to you because I know many of my friends who have gone through something similar to that. So yeah. And you?
My hardest decision wasn't that major. I mean, it was just choosing between high schools because some of my friends were going to this high school, and my mom wanted me to go to this high school. So it wasn't that hard, but it was still.
And did you end up going to the high school that you wanted to go to?
My mom sent me to the high school. She wanted me to go.
But in time, did you learn to love it?
Yeah, that's because I saw that
Do you think
my
it
friends were.
benefits you?
Yeah, it was benefiting me because my friends now, they aren't doing so well in school, and I picture myself, if I was with them, maybe that was the same thing that's going to happen to me.
So I guess you came to an understanding. You can understand why your parents sent you to that school.
Do you guys think you guys in the committee makes a big difference to your community?
Do you think you're making a difference?
Yeah, I totally believe we are making a difference because, well, we're children that are making a difference in our country. This is a new thing to Belize, and it's very, very dynamic with us.
And do you believe that the opinion of children is important?
Yes, very important.
Very important.
Do you think that your opinion has influenced the change that the grown-ups have made?
I do think so because we set out to put out park rehabilitations, and the grown-ups understood that, and that was a decision we made, and we chose parks that were more popular in the community. So yeah, our decisions do make a difference and are influencing our municipalities and our communities.
So in terms of school rules or rules on a whole, is there any reason why you would be taken out of the committee, or is there some kind of plan to institute more people into it? Or is there any age limit or such?
I do believe there is a limit of how much students it can be per school. Like for the school me and Soleil are going, there's only 4, but it's only supposed to be 2. But they still do it because we came from different primary schools, and we ended up going to the same high school. And I think the age limit is 18. But it varies from a young age. I think it's 4 or 5.
Wow.
So it's from a young age.
Okay. So I guess you can say that this committee helped you to meet new people?
Yes.
New people. And do you think that meeting those people have helped you to mature and see different viewpoints of the world?
Yes. When I met them, it was just.
So now that you have been exposed to the grown-up talk, do any of you think that maybe you'd venture into a career with the grown-ups? As in politics, or even just something that will help your community?
I would want to be a lawyer or a judge or even a politician. Those are my 3 goals.
And you? What would you like to do when you're...
That's a really tough decision at the moment because, well, as I said, I'm in Fort Farm. In a couple of months, I would have to choose a major, which I would love to do, but it's really complicated to decide between our choices in Belize. And I would really like to stay in Belize because I want to change Belize.
Okay. And you?
Well, I grow up, I would like to be, well, it's a hard decision for me because I want to be a teacher and a
Okay.
doctor.
Well, you definitely
I have to choose.
have time. I know that
Yes, a lot.
when I was younger, every single career day, I would come for something different. One year it'd be a lawyer, the next year I'd be a teacher, and then suddenly I'm a doctor. I don't know how, but I'm a doctor.
Like me first, he was a fireman, then a policeman, then a pilot, now architect.
So you definitely have the time. And you?
It's very hard for me because at first I wanted to be a marine biologist, but if I work hard and I get the scholarship, I will take that career. But if I believe I will, but if I don't, I think it's gonna be very hard because I don't think I will be able to afford that. So I want to be a marine biologist.
Well, you know, for any of the government officials that may be watching, we have a very intelligent young man right here, and he would like a scholarship, and he's working hard, so you should definitely consider him.
Consider, please.
Yes. And any of the children here, actually. So,
Have any of you guys like had like some hard times in the committee? Or it's long?
There were times that you had different activities set on the same date, and you had to choose between what was more important, and at the same time you have to balance your commitment. So I guess that would be like some hard times there.
and I know for you, you said you're in fourth form. I'm imagining that it's very difficult, or maybe not difficult, just very time consuming, and you have to do a lot. So has there ever been a time where you feel like maybe the committee has weighed down on your education or
Well,
put some pressure on you?
no, they have never weighed anything down on me because, well, for me, it's all about time management. You gotta do something at the moment. You can't do it at the last minute, though, but do it like when you have the opportunity to do it. So, like, if I have a homework due Thursday, I'll make sure I do it Monday, so I have time to like work on like planning meetings or spare time focusing on myself and checking my health and stuff like that. So, it's all about managing.
Okay, so have you, any of you met any you would call important person while being in the committee that maybe you wouldn't have met otherwise?
Mr. Lawrence and Miss Mutsa.
And do you know their positions?
They work with UNICEF, I think.
They work with UNICEF, I think.
Well,
I think
well,
so.
that's a great honor.
But I think they work with along with UNICEF, but they're actually from London. But then they had to leave, and sadly, we cried.
So I
We
suppose
miss
you
them.
miss them.
So we miss them very much.
So how many members, maybe an estimate of, are in the committee on a whole?
There are different municipalities, but from what I know from our municipality in Belmopan, I think there's 17 members.
And there's one in each district or only in Belmopan?
No, they have different municipalities. I think there's one here in Belize City, one from Mbenke and Santa Helena. I think there's the same municipality there.
Ooh, that's dropped. So, is there any problem that you would like to work on? Just one problem each, maybe, that's affecting you or somebody you know or in your community?
Bullying, I would like to attack
Bullying, yes, that is a huge problem, especially for us,
You know,
younger. So I think maybe in Belize we need to implement something more
Have
to
any of you
crack
guys
down.
been bullied?
Yes.
Or maybe seen somebody that has been bullied, and you think that you've been able to use your voice to stop.
Is bullying a big issue that you guys focus on in the committee?
Yes, we
We just launched a anti-bullying campaign in Belmopan municipality.
Okay. So does that include all forms of bullying, including
Yes.
cyberbullying?
Cyberbullying, let me see, physical.
Have you guys ever stopped any bullies?
Personally, yeah.
And to be honest, I'll be sure I have been a bully before in any situation. At the same time, I've stopped some bullying.
So I'm thinking that it's helped you grow.
Yes.
So you're
Make you
more
a better
mature
person.
now. So that made you a better person.
And that's the goal of the anti-bullying campaign.
Okay. So what does that include exactly? As in, are
You guys make up signs, stick
Yeah.
them around.
Yes.
You guys go to like children at your school and explain to them like bullying is not good.
We actually we have a set out date to this time out wristband thing. I think she has one right here. We will go out and give a parent to one, and that's just saying that before you hit a child, you take a 2-minute time out before you hit a child.
Yes.
Well, that's actually a really a good
idea.
point, because I know in Belize parents want the best for their children, so they're thinking that they're disciplining them, but actually it could be some form of bullying or maybe even abuse, and some of them don't even realize it. So
And because that bullying is implemented into them, they want to implement that into others.
Yes.
And that's just causing a chain of bullying.
yes, and we want to be able to break that chain,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Do you guys have anything else to say to people watching?
I just want to say hi to all my friends at Methodist. Hi to my mom, grandparents, people I know. Love you.
I would like to give a huge shout out to all the people watching me, especially my grandmother, my mother, and especially my aunt. Love you.
I just want to say a shout out to my mom, especially her. I love her a lot. Just shout out to my friends in Belmopan Methodist High School.
Alright, well, I want to show everybody at Orange Walk, and especially from the guys at Muffles College, because, well, I know you guys going to be watching because I told you I was going to be here.
And do you have any advice for any children who want to join the committee or just make a change in our community?
Go for it. Don't be afraid. Speak up, and if they don't want to listen, just try and try and try until you are successful. Thank you.
Just saw a recent CAB member told me here in Belize today, just put yourself out there. You might not get into the community, but you can help out, and that's still making a change.
Alright, well, I would like to add to that, like, even though you're not doing anything, you're marketing yourself. So even if someone sees you and be like, he's just doing something simple. No, like when you're applying for like a job or something, it's like you've been part of CAB, right? Like, yeah. So you have a higher opportunity because you're marketing yourself as a dynamic or good person.
And for you?
Well, let me see.
Can't think of one right now.
Question got me confused.
Okay, well, for you, is there any place that you want to go study when you're finished with high school?
Still debating on the decision to go to take architecture or
You're good at math?
well, skilled in math, yes, but I have a talent that no one has in Belize. It's very complicated because I use architectural design to make my art, and it's very, very unique. So I want to take architecture to like add this to our community.
And for any other of you, do you want to go study maybe here in Belize? Well, in Belize or any other place?
I really don't want to leave Belize, but I want to study in England.
England, wow, that's a really far.
Far.
And do you
place.
think you'll be able to influence Belize all the way from England?
I'll try my best.
Okay, well that's good enough.
It's good enough, yes.
And you?
Well, I would like to study in Cuba.
Cuba.
Yes.
Wow.
And you, Andrew?
I don't really, because I said if I want to take the career of marine biologist, they actually give that thing here in Belize, right here in the University of Belize. So I think I'll just go study there.
Okay.
And in Belize, any other place in Belize, like any college in Belize?
Are you planning to go to sixth form?
Yes. I hope I get my bachelor's degree, maybe even master's, if God permits.
God permits. God will permit.
God will
God
provide.
always permits. Okay, so what I'm hearing is all of you are planning on furthering your education,
Yes.
and you all believe that that's going to somehow help your country in some way.
Yes.
So where do you think Belize will be by the time you're out of high school and college? Do you think it'll be better, worse, and do you think this committee will still be going?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I believe this community will still be going. For it has been, well, my entire team has passed the age of 18, and me and Layla are the only two remaining. So we'll try to get members and keep this going, because soon I'll be leaving in a couple years' time, which is very, very sad to me, because I would
But
like.
even as an adult, will you try to expand it, like try to work with the other adults that help? Because it's adults that run the committee, right?
Yeah.
Will you
yeah.
try to help?
Yeah, I would
expand it?
really love to help with that though. So in being part of like assisting them or just being there for them would be a honor.
So since you're a part of since you've been able to be exposed to different situations, do you think that now you're able to go out and educate people in your school, workplace, or wherever else you end up flowing in life?
Yes.
Totally.
Okay, well, that's really good.
Okay, thank you. I hope you guys stick around for the next show and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are doing an excellent job.
Yeah, you're very inspiring. I know that you inspired me, and I'm definitely more educated now that you've told me about this amazing committee. So, thank you, and
Thank you as well.
stay tuned for more Open Your Eyes.